You don't think I don't know that my shirt is cut a little skimpy? It's called a goddamn nipped slip. Learn it, you fucking yuppie. This is Whiskey Tango Talks. I'm your host, Derek Visitor. Today's guest is Mr. Marshall Zinn. He's a world strongman competitor at 105 kg. He's winner of the 2018 Arnold, South Africa. He placed 11th in the world in strongman in 2017. Also placed 6th at the Arnold Columbus here in 2019. Former U.S. Army drill sergeant. He was the 2016 North Carolina strongest man. He also holds the log press record at 340 pounds in North Carolina. He's a former bodybuilder turned strength athlete, and he's going back to South Africa in May for the Arnold. Welcome to today's show, Mr. Marshall Zinn.
All right.
Okay, well, we're on. Well, today's guest is Mr. Marshall Zinn. You heard it from the intro, World Strongman. So you just made a hilarious comment because you said you don't sound that interesting, right, of a person.
Yeah, to me, I'm totally not that interesting.
Right, but I wanted you on because larger than life character, in my opinion, like you could have done pretty much everything from any walk of life, in my opinion. Like, fuck, you could have been a carnival worker, to you could have been a fucking pro wrestler. You know what I'm saying? You stand what, 5'3", 5'4"?
A 5'4" on a good day.
A 5'4" on a good day. 240 pounds.
Yeah,
give or take.
Yeah, close to 235. I try to stay around there.
Right.
But you want to know something? I think God humbled me in making me such a short stature because dude, if I was 6 foot,
well,
I'd be a totally different person.
Let's just hang on your height real quick for a second.
Yeah.
So doing strongman the way that you do, how does that affect events in the sense of like overhead and whatnot?
Okay, so every strongman or everybody in my profession has a difference of opinion. And if you're not short, then you don't hook up, man. If you're not short, then you don't get an opinion on how much it sucks to be short in my sport.
Okay. Right.
Deadlift, of course, like, hey man, you're built for the car deadlift, or you're built for the deadlift or something like that, but I still have trouble deadlifting, right?
Right.
Stones is like my worst event. You know what I mean? Like 60 inches.
Right.
Putting a 300-pound stone up on 60 inches, that's over my head.
And okay, so the stone alone, how wide are we talking? Like, people don't have a grasp of how wide these stones are. I know you use like leather straps on your arm to keep from tearing up, right?
Yeah.
And tack, is it called tack?
Tacky, yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like a pine tar, like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like a
water or just straight?
I'll just take it straight.
All right.
Hold on.
Cheers to being the first guest.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you.
And then this is kind of something else that I want to get into.
Oh.
Yeah, as far as things like that. But a stone, I want to say like a big stone is like 22 inches in diameter.
Okay.
20 or 22, like that's big for me, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, short wingspan.
Exactly.
Got to get around it.
So it's a little bit more difficult, but it's not something that is totally out of the question.
Okay.
Right? Like, things are all doable, but it's just how much more difficult it makes it. How much more technique you have to use, and how much stronger than you have to be than other people, because
dude, I've said it since the day I've known you. For people that don't know, I worked with Mr. Zinn for 7 years at a school for at-risk youth. But since day one, dude, I've said it. I watched, tricep extensions with 120-pound dumbbells. I watch you 315 seated overhead press. Dude, you're pound for pound the strongest person I've ever met in my life.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
and I used to think that I was the strongest person that I ever knew until I got in the sport of strongman, and then you're like, damn, that guy is really strong.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And there's people out there that are just total freaks of nature, and that you don't want to cut yourself short, and you don't want to say like, dude,
no pun intended.
Yeah, like, right? I will never be on that guy's level. You'll never want to say that. Mm-hmm. But in some instances, you have to be aware that you're going to have to put in twice as much work as that person if you want to get to where that person's at, because they are just that good. And while you're putting in twice as much work, if they're just that good, they're putting in twice as much work too. So you guys are excelling at an even pace, and if you do the math, that just means you'll almost never catch them.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a realistic guy, and
by far, probably one of the most realistic people I've ever met.
And I used to think, like, when I first got into strongman, I was like, damn, I could do this. And then at one point I thought, man, like, there's no way that I can be the best in the world. And then as you get closer to each thing, you quit saying there's no way. And you start saying, dude, I was this close. I was a half a point off of podium. I was, you know what I mean? Like, I will never put I'll never be that guy in my sentence ever again. And it's not like I did that often, but it's like when you start competing, you see how good people are. You're almost like, damn, because I thought I was fucking strong. I really did.
Right.
I thought I was fucking strong as shit when I first got into when I first got into strongman, I thought I was fucking like strong.
Right.
My very first show I did, and I placed third in it. Granted, it was a parking lot show, but I was like, okay, I can do this. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I go to another one. I'm like, damn, never seen that guy before. Then I go to another one. I'm like, holy fuck, there's two of that guy.
Right.
And then before you know it, you're at fucking nationals, and there's 70 people in your weight class. And half of them, I don't want to say don't deserve to be there, but half of them qualified through a bullshit parking lot show where the weights were, you know, way less under pound compared to everything else. And then, you know,
I don't think people realize how much weight you're really moving in a show. Like, just give a couple events and for instance.
So, for instance, I believe I've done some really heavy shows.
I've seen a 900-pound yoke walk.
Yeah, I've done 1,000 pounds before, but
Jesus,
not 900. That's almost crippling to my soul, and that's, you know what I mean. I'm like, because I kind of got some back issues that I really don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, when you're putting fucking 1,000 pounds on your back, motherfucker, like Jesus.
So you have, for instance, the World's Strongest Man this past year.
Yeah.
It was fucking incredibly heavy. Like, it was insanely heavy.
A lot of the athletes didn't make a lot of those lifts, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that people are true freaks.
Right.
Whenever half the field ain't making half the fucking lifts, and someone comes in there and blows through everything.
Jesus.
Like, there's a 105 dude right now, Anthony Furman. The guy is like, he's on his shit. You know what I mean? And he's just one name. There's, you know what I mean? There's Terry Rady. There's fucking Sean DeMoyes, I believe his name. Like, these guys are the best 105s around. Like, these guys are the best, and you only strive to do what they do.
For people that don't know weight classes, 105 kg translates to
under 231 pounds. So there's a 200-pound weight class.
Okay.
There's a 231 and under, so between 200 and 231. And then anything above that is a heavyweight class.
So you're telling me anything above that, like, you're competing against people like Brian Shaw and Thor Bjornsson?
For sure, but they're definitely on another level.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's such a big jump because
I've
met Shaw at 380 pounds, dude.
Yeah,
like, that is,
and now he's like pushing 420. So,
right, like, that's,
you know what I mean. So basically,
how is there such a large weight gap? Like, nobody can look at that and say, hey, like, maybe we need a super heavyweight division.
Some places have some divisions have super heavyweight. Some shows have super heavyweight, but for the most part, it's like this. And this is where I don't want to be an asshole, but it's kind of fair and it's kind of not fair. You got guys that are 275 pounds, 265 pounds. That's a fucking heavyweight.
Right.
Them guys will lose weight to make the fucking middleweight class.
Oh, God.
Right?
Yeah.
But in my mind, in my mind, some people are like, dude, if you want to be like a world champion, like you want to, like, why don't you just go down to 200 pounds? I said, but that's not me naturally. That's not where I walk around at.
Okay.
I want to be a true 231 pound guy that is truly strong at the weight I walk around at.
Right.
And to be honest with you, when I weigh in for a show, 3 days before a show, I'm so fucking nervous that I don't even eat.
Ooh.
Like I'm barely eating.
Right.
If I have to fly on a plane,
yeah,
like I have such bad anxiety that literally every meal I take in, I'll shit it out. So you're like, what's the point of eating that? I'm gonna have the shits on the plane, and I don't want to have the shits on the plane, right?
Right.
So a lot of people can just sit there and eat their meals on the plane. I'm like, damn,
flying porta-johns.
right? Like, damn, I wish I rent my food, dude. That's what people say.
Yeah.
I wish that I could do that, but I can't. So sometimes I'll I'll go into a show and I'll weigh in at like 220 pounds or 217 pounds because I've been picking at food the last 2 days because my anxiety is so fucking bad. Jeez. So I'm not even going into a show as strong as I should, actually.
Well, yeah. I mean, carb depletion, protein depletion, like
and it sucks.
What about your amino acids? Like, where are you at with that? Like your water intake?
So that's actually how I tore my tricep.
Right.
In 2017, is I was so dehydrated. I was so fucking nervous for this show.
I remember that video when you had posted it. You actually finished that lift, didn't you?
I did. As soon as I locked it out, bow, my tricep tore, and it was so painful. And I know there's like people have way worse injuries than that.
Yeah.
But for me, being a former bodybuilder, the first thing that went through my mind is, dog, you'll never ever go on a stage again.
Okay.
You're fucking done. Your tricep's going to be deformed. Let's try to get this thing back to good health so that you can at least continue to be a strength athlete.
So before we go on, let's bring it way back, dude. Let's okay, because for people that don't know, former drill sergeant, U.S. Army, you were a combat engineer, which was 12B when you were in?
Yep, 12 Bravo.
12 Bravo. Okay, so let's talk about your upbringing in West Virginia native.
Yep,
right,
for sure.
So how did you go from the fucking backwoods of West Virginia to the Army and then some? Because I remember you and I talking a while back ago. You were saying that you had done a split op, right?
No.
No? Mm-mm. You just went in fucking early.
Yeah.
Into boot camp.
I just went in early. I had my mom sign my paperwork at 17.
Okay.
So for me, discipline was always a huge part of my life. Like, my dad is a workaholic. Like, his work ethic is unmatched, and he's always been a hands-on physical guy. And this guy will work himself to the bone and act like it's nothing, right?
Right.
So seeing that in my dad, and my mom and dad split when I was younger, but seeing that in my dad was like something that it was like, okay, cool. My dad was a Marine. My mom's brothers were all in the Army. My mom was super, super hard. Like, when it came to discipline, I don't want to say I was always getting yelled at, but there was 3 of us. I was the youngest one. I was always doing something I wasn't supposed to do. My sisters were always picking on me, so I was retaliating and, picking one of them up and slamming them or doing something stupid. So I was always getting in trouble.
Right.
So when I went to, and this followed me, my whole adolescent years. So when I got the basic training, bro, a drill sergeant yelling at me was nothing.
Yeah, it was normal.
It was fucking normal. Like, that's how I lived my life because we had a 2-story house. My mom was always yelling at somebody from downstairs.
Right.
Right? And you always had to go running. Like, you couldn't walk to her. You had to run to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had my mom sign my paperwork. I go to basic training and
17?
Like, 17.
Okay.
And like the military was a great part of my life, but it wasn't the part of my life. It was like a stepping stone in my life to bring me forward to maybe where I am now or where I'm going to be in life, if that makes sense.
No, perfect sense.
Because I don't let the military define me. but I was in for 11 years, and it was.
To be honest, that's kind of hard because deciding, for people that don't know, like how hard being a drill sergeant is, like in the same sense, it's fucking fun.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I remember watching drill sergeants yell at trees for practice.
For sure.
And
when I heard about that, I was like, fuck that. I'll never do that. Like, my drill sergeant told me some shit like that. Well, when I got DA selected and I had to come in to drill sergeant school, that's what they were talking about. That's what they were talking about. That's what it would take for you to be able to pass this school. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I hate school. I hate school.
Right.
But one thing that I like is being different. You know what I mean? And everybody ain't doing that shit. So when I get the opportunity to do it, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? So I go in there, and I'm not going to say the school was easy. Mentally, it was easy for me. But I hate running. I hate running. Right?
Right, yeah.
And I was a bodybuilder, like, through this whole stage. But by the time I got to go to drill sergeant school, they had looked at me and were like, dude, you are too big for what we need you for. You got, dude, I was 250 pounds.
Okay. So
right?
Drill sergeants are intimidating. Like, what? Like,
for sure, but I couldn't do shit, man. Like, I couldn't do shit but lift weights.
Couldn't
right?
breathe.
I couldn't run.
Sounded like a bulldog.
Yeah, and so once I started, running and getting in shape and everything, I think I went into school at like 185 pounds, 190 pounds, which is actually good for someone my size. I go to school and I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. But we're just running and running and running.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck this. Yeah. I don't like this. And that's ultimately...
I went to jump school.
Yeah.
And literally, it is pull-ups before you go in a building,
for sure.
Pull-ups when you come out of a building, and you're running
for
everywhere
sure.
you go. Everywhere you go.
And
so
it just got to the point where I'm like, what do I want to do with my life, right? I had signed a couple extensions and things like that. I'm like, what do I want to do with my life? And I still had not really found, I don't want to say my calling because I don't really know.
To be honest, even a strongman competitor, I know you're an athletic director right now too, but you are such a charismatic motherfucker that, like, I still don't think you found it yet, and
I don't think I have either.
No.
But that's
crazy.
why I say it's just a stepping stone on my path to where I'm going.
Right.
And one thing that I do have to say is I believe that it's hard to do the shit that you want to do on your own.
Right.
Yes, you can do it. Yes, you can be successful at it. But I have 4 kids.
Right.
Right?
Father first, by the way.
For sure.
Right.
So I have 4 kids and I have a wife. And my wife literally...
Shout out to Miss Colleen Zinn for dealing with this motherfucker.
For sure, man. She literally lets me do whatever I want. And of course I will discuss it with her first.
Right.
But the fact that she has kind of put herself and her stuff on the back burner just to be with me to let me do stuff is pretty wild, man, because
so supporting your significant other is one thing, and I've said it from day one. When I met Colleen, it was the simple fact that you can tell she believes in you as a person.
For sure.
Not even doing what you do, but
Yeah.
more or less like she knows you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
And she's coming along for that fucking ride.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I believe too, if she didn't think I was going anywhere, she would force me to go somewhere. And that's actually how I got in strongman, is I was just lifting in the gym.
Right.
I was done bodybuilding. I was just kind of hanging out. I was just chilling. And she was like, hey, you can't be like a big, strong guy for no reason. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? She's like, I signed you up for this competition.
Bullshit. She signed you up for your first competition?
For my first competition. She was like, I think it would be cool for you. Like,
Colleen, if you're listening to this, hey, God bless you.
So like I said, I placed 3rd in it, and I was like, damn, I might be able to do this. You know what I mean? But I think it's so important to have backing behind you. And it's not just about financial or anything like that. it's a real support system.
Right.
Because if you don't have that, if you don't have somebody that is willing to let you take those risks or believe in you to the point where it's like, okay, just go out there. I know you can do it. And fuck, the time I put in training is fucking unreal, dude.
Oh, dude.
I just got done training before I came over here.
Right.
We start at 9 o'clock in the morning.
And you got clients that you deal with too.
We got clients. I got clients that I deal with. So those clients come in.
You want to give a shout out to your company name? Go ahead. I mean,
Freak Animal Fitness. I'll train anybody.
Okay.
I'll train anybody from the housewife to the professional athlete to the person who just wants to hook themselves up with just has goals. And I tell you right now, guys, I like training women more because women have more goals.
Oh.
Women have more goals.
I can see that.
A woman's work is never done. And that's realistic. A woman has a best friend who's going to get married. She needs to fit in that dress. A woman has to fit in that swimsuit for the first, beach party or whatever.
Right.
A woman they always have something to do.
That ex-boyfriend they want to piss off.
Boom, exactly. They had a shitty relationship, and now they want to move forward with it, and they're tired of feeling like they did something wrong.
The worst weight is happy weight, and you usually gain that.
Exactly. So that's why I like training women more than I like men. It's not that I won't train men, but that's a 100% positive thing that I've learned over the years is that's what will happen, and women. A woman's work is never done. She will always come back.
We're on the topic of women right now. What are your views with women in strongman competition? Because I've come and seen 2 of your shows before. Yeah. What is it? Do you think that it takes for a woman to actually want to compete in strongman? For me, it's so weird because I commend it. Mm-hmm. But when you look at the aspect of this woman and she's really trying to compete and watching her compete against other women, men are we're kind of clad in the sense of yeah, motherfucker, I want you to do good, but fuck you if you win. Women out there they were legit wanting each other just to do good.
I think that's strongman in general. What I've learned from when I was a bodybuilder, you go backstage, nobody's talking. Oh, nobody will talk to you. You'll have to almost fucking put on a damn.
You're the enemy.
You almost have to be a court jester to get somebody to even notice you and just be like, hey, dude, I'm just here to see who's got the best body and try to win this motherfucker. I'm not your enemy, right? Yeah. But no one will talk to you. Huh. Strongman, if you don't have a piece of equipment to perform that lift with, and strongman, someone will go out of their way to give you their wrist wraps so that you can do an overhead event. You want to use my knee sleeves? Go ahead, man. I want to know who the best motherfucker. I want to know who the strongest motherfucker out here is. Okay. I don't want to beat you because you got injured. I don't want to fucking you not to be able to pull the most weight because you don't have a belt. I don't want to win like that.
Right.
I want to see who the strongest cat out here is today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 weeks, you'll best me. But today, I want to know who the best. And that's the thing about the women is the women are just like the dudes, man.
Cheers to that. Seriously. I like that. No, that's good. That's good.
The women are just like the dudes, man.
When you cheers, you're supposed to take a drink.
Oh, my bad. They're competitive,
right?
And once you're an athlete, you're always an athlete.
Yes.
And if you're not
to some extent, there always is that aspect.
If you're not a competitive athlete, you're not a fucking athlete,
right?
In my opinion,
right?
You are going through the motions, and you will not go anywhere past fucking high school,
right?
That's all there is to it. You won't play D1. You won't go JUCO. You won't do shit.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And that's just, if you don't have a competitive nature about you, you're fucking spinning your wheels, wasting your time, everyone around you's time, your parents' time. You're wasting time. So these girls are athletes.
I like it.
And at some point they were competitive in something else, whatever it may be, and then they.
Who's the most impressive female that you've seen? Because I saw you take a picture of this one girl, and she just and no offense, towered you.
Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
But she looked like an absolute monster. She had to be 230 herself.
I think you're talking about Kiki. Kiki is freaking awesome.
No last name? What?
Dude, it's
off the top of your head.
You know, I got this accent, and it's hard for me to pronounce. It's like someone with a B.
It's a big white girl.
Yeah,
big white
with
girl,
red
yeah.
hair.
Yes, that was her,
dude.
yeah.
Like, all these women are impressive to me because they're out there giving their all. They don't give a fuck what nobody thinks about them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. And there's plenty of guys that are like, oh, and they always want to talk shit. And it's because, guess what? You couldn't do what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I had a friend the other day, and we just through discussion, you know, she squats a lot, and I made the comment, do you think, you know, your significant other could get underneath that? Oh yeah. Well, when's the last time you lifted? No, I don't think you could.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. Well, then that's my point. Like,
sure.
If you're not out there doing it, you're really not. You're not conditioned.
Yeah.
So.
And there's people that are just gym bros. There's people, and that's cool, man.
God,
like,
dude, you calling me out like that? No. I'm just saying because I don't compete in shit. I just want to look good naked. You know.
Well, you got a goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people are like, you know what? I just want to be in shape. I'm fucking 35 years old. I don't want to be out of shape. I want to be able to run and play with my kid, or I still want to play basketball with my boys, or something like that.
And the thing is, when I'm in the gym, you know, it's me versus me. I get that side eye from guys when I load up, 405 pounds on bench. Mm-hmm. Oh, you really gonna lift that? Yeah, motherfucker, I'm gonna lift that. Yeah. Like, you know, and you know what? While we're on this topic, you know what pisses me off the most about when people are talking about lifting? What do you bench?
Well,
but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why is benching the
because
mark?
That's the average person wants to see that because they've never seen nothing else. They go to the gym and that's the first thing they do.
Monday.
I work with a bunch of kids, man.
Yeah.
And if you let all the kids loose in the gym at one time,
they want to bench.
The only thing they'll do is go right to a bench, load up as much weight as they think they can do.
Oh, geez.
Pull it off, smash it on their chest.
What are you pulling up over here, guy? What do you got? No, that's not her. But yeah, that's Kiki Vice or some shit like that from Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
That broad is from Australia, and she's a goddess. But anyway,
she's jacked up.
Yeah, she's jacked up. Cheers to that. But no. So hold on, real quick, because we talked a little bit about West Virginia, your upbringing. How does West Virginia life differ from everywhere you've been? Because, dude, let me tell you, like, I've seen some crazy fucking documentaries on West Virginia. They talk about haulers, you know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, my mom and dad they bought a 100-acre farm.
Okay.
Off my dad's dad, and we were out in the middle of nowhere, and we had the electric company put up lines. Okay. They had right of ways.
So they didn't have shit.
They didn't have shit out there, dude. And I grew up hiking mountains with fencing tools, dragging them behind 5-gallon buckets full of fencing tools, so my dad could build fence to keep the other animals off our property and fence off right of ways and everything, so that the power company could come and put power up. And I actually remember we used to have the gas company came up and rolled out gas lines, and they just put them up on the hill.
Oh.
And
above ground?
Yeah, above ground, and they were bright orange.
Yes, shit.
And my dad used to burn brush all the time. We used to cut down trees. My dad had me working from the time I could walk. Oh. And I used to be dragging trees over and piling them up. And I
remember you telling me a stupid story about somebody's tools. Somebody borrowed somebody's tools and left them in the dirt.
Oh, yeah.
What? Like,
I'll tell you that. So my dad was burning brush, and he burned a fucking gas line because it was fall and the leaves were all over the ground, and we didn't know where the gas line was marked at. And it was the most traumatizing thing to me at the time. The flames were screaming, fucking coming out of the ground, and I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? But so that was earlier. And then when my mom and dad split, we moved into the city. And City life was definitely different, but it wasn't anything crazy. Like, the difference between West Virginia now and West Virginia that when I was growing up is totally different.
Yeah.
The drugs have taken over, and no one wants to be there. No one wants to go back. The only reason I've ever gone back in the last 10
Anybody
years
in your family
is for funerals.
coal miners by any chance?
No.
No coal miners? But
No.
it's big out there, right?
It's super huge out there. But right now, fracking is too.
Right.
And basically, my dad's dad has has a property with mineral rights on it. So he lets the oil company come in and drill, and basically he's but they're sucking the resources out of the earth. And what's happening is these big companies are coming in, sucking all the resources out of the earth, killing these towns, and then leaving.
Damn.
And so it's bleeding it dry. And for me, I don't have any use to go back there. I still have friends back there. I love everybody back there. But the drugs have taken over that place so much. It sucks because I don't even call it home anymore. People ask me where I'm from. I say North Carolina because I moved out here from North Carolina.
Right.
Two of my kids were born in North Carolina. My father's in North Carolina. My sister's in North Carolina.
Right.
So when people ask me, I tell them North Carolina, but realistically, I'm from West Virginia, but it's so run down, and there's just so much negative there right now. It's just hard for me to love it still. You know what I mean?
That sucks too, because I hear, and just the overall like American like aspect of people. Like I heard those are the kind of people you need a cup of sugar. You need a glass of milk, whatever it may be. Everyone's willing to take a shirt off their back and give it to you.
When I was growing up, you never locked your door. You never locked your car door. Wow. You never locked your house. I'd leave my keys in the ignition, and I'd forget about them because that's how I was used to that.
Right.
And I'd go up to the house, go to sleep for the night, come back down. I look for my keys. I'd be like, damn, I bet they're in the car. Go down there, and they're in the car. Nothing gone out of my car.
Right.
Now, if you did that, it's gone because the drugs have taken over so much. These meth addicts are all over the place.
Yeah, I heard they have like a pill epidemic out there right now.
Bro, it's like everything, like meth, pills, and it's sad. It's super sad because it's not the place that I loved.
Right.
And where I grew up at. So,
I'm born and raised here. I only left here to go to Fort Benning, Georgia.
Yeah. Right? But, I mean...
Texas after that. And
right.
Came right back to this motherfucker. But...
I mean, well...
You need another piece of ice?
Yeah. And I guess when you poured me this glass, one of the things that I was like, hey, man, I'll talk to you about that too, is I think what a lot of people do, and I see a lot of people, is people don't understand, athletes don't understand what social media does for them and to them.
Okay.
Right?
Hey, holy shit. We're gonna hit this? We're gonna talk about this?
Well, the biggest thing I want to talk about when I look at this drink right here.
Okay.
I think like I'm in my mind. I'm like.
No, I'm happy you brought this up.
I'm on my mind. I'm like, I don't really want to see people see me drink. I cuss all the. No, listen.
Okay.
I cuss all the time.
Right.
I do, because that's just how I talk.
Hey.
Right.
And you know what that means. But you know what that means, right?
It means.
You're an honest person.
I'm an honest person.
You're an honest fucking person. Yeah.
Hey. But that doesn't mean that I'm not a good person because I cuss, right?
Right.
It also doesn't mean that I'm an alcoholic or I'm not a good person because I'm having a drink.
Why would it, though?
But the big misconception that I believe people see on social media is they see somebody that's in good shape. And someone on social media will post a picture of them eating donuts or burritos or pizza.
all the fit girls with their donuts after shows.
All of this crazy shit, but it don't even have to be after a show. It could just be like all this crazy ass food, right?
Right.
But the average person who is looking up to that person on Instagram sees that.
Right.
And then they think it's okay if I live my life like that because they are, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing with drinking, same thing with anything else. It's okay that I can do that because they're doing that, but they don't understand that person might do that once a month. That person might not ever do that, but
in
every
in
now
the same reality, and I just had this conversation with one of my friends too. This is like everyone wants to post their good life.
For sure.
You know, nobody wants to post that the fact that they're dealing with some bullshit, baby mama drama, fucking you know, social media has killed a lot of people's aspects and views on life, and it's skewed it to the point of where, like, fuck it, dude. Like, if you want to fucking post that you have a drink every now and then, like, maybe somebody needs to see that you might need that to relax.
For sure.
You know, because life isn't peachy, bro.
I hear that, but in the same sense, I think people have enough fucking drama and bullshit in their life that they do not want to fucking hear about yours. And the biggest thing that I don't want to hear about on fucking social media is your relationship fucking problem.
Wait. You mean to tell me you don't like to see fucking Chelsea post about dude she just met 2 weeks ago but is completely in love?
Not only that, but
you know, and then 3 weeks later, Matt's her boyfriend. You know, I don't fucking know.
Not only that, but the couple who's having the issue airs out all the dirty laundry, wants us to hate the significant other, but then, you know, 10 days later is posting a picture with them, how much they love them, and it's you wanted us to forget that you just posted all of that bad shit about that person. And so that's why, like, I like social media. I think it's great, but in the same sense, like you said, a lot of it's not reality.
No,
a lot of it is not reality.
Not fucking one bit. Well, on the topic, because you brought up alcohol and use of, let's talk about PEDs in sports.
For sure.
Because everyone knows bodybuilding, right? And I'm going to bring up a guy named Jeff Logan. Jeff Logan was an ex-football player, kind of turned into bodybuilding. He was out on the East Coast Mecca for bodybuilding. He was at Bev Francis gyms, trained with Evan Sapani. And then he ended up getting kind of with Muscle Meds when they were big, and Kai Green. And he was trying to do his thing. Now he's all over Generation Iron, and he talks about how he didn't realize to be what he thought he had to be. He had to be a fucking science experiment with using PEDs to get to where some of these guys are on that level. You know, it's what you want in life and what you want to use to get to that portion in life.
For sure.
So with that being said, how does PEDs affect sports, in your opinion? For, you know,
I think, in my opinion, I think that if a sport,
right,
if an organization in that sport tells you that you can't use it, and you want to be a part of that organization in that, then you don't use it.
Then you don't use it.
Then you do not use it.
Okay.
But if an organization turns a blind eye to it, and they don't care if you use it, if you want to use it, I'm not telling you that you should. I'm telling you that if you're knowledgeable about it and you feel like that's what you need to do in order to get the upper hand or to be the best, and you know that other people are doing that, if you want to do it, then you should probably do it.
Right.
Like I've never in my so a long time ago when I was a bodybuilder, I remember, I ain't gonna call out no names or anything, but I remember I walked into this gym. And it was a meathead gym. Like, all these guys were bodybuilders and power lifters. These guys were literally larger than life. They were the biggest guys at the time that I've ever seen. And by the way, there's a huge difference between being big in bodybuilding and being big as a strongman.
Dude.
There's a huge difference.
I'm telling you, my buddy Garcia, you know.
Yeah.
Right now, roughly 6'4", 340.
Yeah.
Took him to Olympia. Right, Mr. Olympia.
And
he told me he's never felt small in his life until he met some of those strongmen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it was like,
the guys are huge, right?
Dude, I stood between him and Robert Orst, and I look like a fucking 12-year-old boy.
Oh yeah, I got a picture with him. I'm under his arm, like my head is nestled under his arm.
Yeah, and like that was when I realized, like, dude, like I am a small individual.
For sure.
You know, it's
For
so
sure.
humbling. It's so humbling. But back to PEDs. So if the sport allows it, it is what it is. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fucking just beat a dead horse with that. Recreational use. Like, how many people out there do you think just like the misconception of PEDs, steroids, testosterone, dude, it is so out of control in the sense of you got these fucking meatheads who think, bro, I can just fucking lift every other day, take fucking 2 cc's of testosterone, and just be fucking A-okay.
So here's the average person has no idea
fucking clue, right?
they do not know anything about testosterone. They have no idea, right?
It's scary. It is fucking scary.
So when it comes to that, and the average person asks you,
right?
Because they walk right up to you,
here we go,
in the face, and say, "Hey man, do you take steroids?" At what point does someone develop the fucking balls to say that to someone? Number one.
Right.
And number two, my answer always is, would it change your opinion about me if I told you yes or no? Would it make you a different person if I told you yes or no? Because some people's general concern about it, and some people want the knowledge about it, and some people just want to be a nibshit, and they want to fucking know,
right,
because they really think that that is the quick answer that they can have to discredit who the fuck you are, because they want to say, well, if he wasn't doing that, I could be just like him.
Fuck no, you couldn't, motherfucker.
But that's the average. The average person doesn't know the difference between steroids and fucking protein.
Right.
100%.
Creatine. I'm fucking taking so much creatine.
I have fucking people ask me all the time. We'll just be talking in conversation the other day. So you mean you're all natural? You don't take protein or anything? And I look at them like, are you? And I don't even. I'm like, are you? What the fuck kind of answer am I supposed to give you to that?
It's a lack of knowledge, and it's also like such a fucking Neanderthal, like, just kind of roundness of, like, people just don't realize, like, you can't just assume and, like, do your research before you go talk to somebody about it.
For sure.
Me personally, and I'll speak on my behalf, just my behalf, I literally had a good friend ask me, hey dude, would you rather live 70 years as a lion or 90 years as a lamb? I'm gonna fucking choose lion every goddamn time. And when I answered that question, I was lion, of course. You know, he said, "Well, what the fuck you doing with your life, dude?" He's like, "What makes a man a man?" I said, "Well, fucking testosterone." He said, "Yeah, why don't you get on it?" I said, "Well, I need to fucking research, and you know, I didn't just fucking start throwing that shit into my body." You know, like I wanted to know more about it, and then I started picking people's brains.
Yeah.
You know, people I knew from here and there. Hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? Then I realized, dude, you're your own science experiment.
For sure. Everyone's body's different.
And you know, one person could be good with one thing, another person could be good with another thing. You know, for me personally, like, if you can't listen to your body, don't do it.
Exactly.
If you can't know what affects you, don't do it. It's just like alcohol. It's just like marijuana. You know, like,
some people have, and a lot of people don't know that they have addictive personality.
Oh, dude, I'm glad you said that.
If you have an addictive personality, it's probably something that you shouldn't fucking do.
Dude, I'll for 100%.
You know
that's
what I
the
mean?
truth. That is the truth, because some people don't know when to come off.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I've been on a cycle. Oh yeah, what's your cycle? Oh, X, Y, and Z, right? Oh, okay, that's cool. How long have you been running it? Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean, dude? How long have you been on that shit? Oh, about a year now. Wait, what? You know, like, bro, go donate blood and get the fuck away from everything you're doing, because you're gonna kill yourself.
You're gonna kill.
You know.
So and then I think that you have to know your limits in everything you do.
Right.
Even in sports.
Oh.
Like, you got age will catch up with you.
Right.
life will catch up with you. And a lot of times when life catches up with you, you don't know until too late. And when I say life catches up with you, for instance, I said it's good to have someone who supports you, right?
Oh, yeah.
When your dream can no longer be reached because you're basically running out of time, and somebody's trying to tell you, your significant other's trying to tell you, like, listen, man, it was a good run, but I think this is when we need to call it, or something like that. If you can't give that up, if you can't respect that in that other person, right, then life is going to catch up with you. And when life starts catching up with you, it starts dragging you down.
Right.
And it's hard to get out of a rut. And the last thing you want to do is lose everything you've worked for a dream that you will not accomplish.
You're losing yourself.
Yeah. And if you don't accomplish that dream with that person who supports you, when that person who knows you the best says, hey, man.
Oh, dude, you're talking to so many people right now. Like, you're talking to so many people right now.
When that dream, when that person who has literally given you everything that they got and supported you says, hey, man, I know you. Yeah. I know your abilities. And right now, you are not you. And you haven't been you for a very long time. So I'm telling you that this is our stopping point.
Right.
And if you go past this, then I can no longer be a part of this journey. Dude. When that person stops being a part of that journey, life has caught up with you.
Ooh.
You are done. And you will no longer accomplish any of those dreams, and you won't go further.
No.
Then, you know what I mean?
Or you might regress.
You're going to regress because life has grabbed you by the balls. First, it's got you by the foot.
Right. And
it's pulling you down. And then once that person says, I can't support this dream
right
anymore,
at the legs to the nuts.
Right to the nuts. Squeezes the life out of them and pulls the rest of you down.
Dude,
so
100%. 100 fucking percent, dude. That's hilarious. I love it. Well, fucking, so back to your strongman competitor, and then we'll wrap it up shortly. What are we at for time right now, bud?
46 minutes.
46 minutes? Yeah, we're right on par. That's kind of where I wanted to be with the first show. What do you feel like when you're competing? I want you to explain to people how hard South Africa was for you, because the food there, the culture there. Dude, when you told me this story, I was just like, holy fuck, dude. Like, I didn't realize how different South Africa really was, and the toll it would take on somebody like yourself.
Okay, so the first thing, you got a 25-hour flight over there. That's 25 hours. A lot of people.
How long? Okay, so 25-hour flight
in the air.
How many days in advance did you go to make sure you were?
I believe I was there almost 2 weeks. I went about 3 days in advance, and I have a friend named Elisa Hatt, and basically she kept me on schedule with sleep because.
Hold on, wait. You want your little watch there? What do you got? What is that?
Oh, this is my Whoop. So the Whoop is a great tool for an athlete who can. It tells you how many calories you've burned.
Right.
It tells you how well you've slept, how well you can recover for the workout the next day. Okay. So it basically is monitoring your body and tells you how well you'll be able to perform based on what you've done the day before.
So even with your fancy fucking watch.
Yeah, for sure.
You had, what's her name?
Her name's Elisa Hatt. Okay. And basically she went out there and she says, hey, man, this is what you got to do.
Right.
You got to stay awake until this time. Go to sleep at this. The days are opposite.
Yeah.
And the seasons are opposite too.
Right.
So
southern.
For sure.
Hemisphere.
So you go to sleep at this time. Do not wake up before this time.
You want a little more? Or no.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Once you wake up, you have got to force yourself to stay awake until a certain amount of time, and then you can go back. when I first got there, bro, I was sleeping like
Whenever you could.
whenever
right?
the
Yeah.
fuck I wanted to. I wake up at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, it's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking to everybody over here because they're awake.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck are you doing awake, man?
Yeah.
So she had to dial me in and get me adjusted. And it was right on time, because if I wouldn't have got adjusted that whole day before and got that sleep, I would have been fucked up, because I was sleeping all fucking day, man. And so the 25-hour flight kills you. It kills you. It's like, 4 or 5 hours over to Detroit. Then you hit Detroit. It's like a 10-hour flight from Detroit to Amsterdam. It's like a 12-hour flight from Amsterdam down to South Africa.
Well, I flew to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But, that's military flight. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like, we made one stop in Germany.
For sure.
Switched the plane off, whatever. But even that, but Jesus, dude. Like, that just seems...
And it's like, it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
So you get there, but I noticed like other guys are like, they're used to fucking doing this shit. So they're like, they get there the day before, they compete, they go to sleep, they wake up and fly out.
Right.
I didn't want to. I wanted to kind of enjoy it and feel it out and see how it was. But so when I get there, I had to eat like at like a restaurant that they would have over here in America, like the Hard Rock. Now, Hard Rock Cafe is where I stayed at.
Dude, you killed me with this story.
Right.
Explain to me the fucking meat.
So I had a fucking. I say you can't fuck up a hamburger, like you can have a hamburger anywhere.
Well, you can fuck up a hamburger.
Well, I ordered a hamburger from my hotel, and it was the grossest shit,
dude,
that I have.
I specifically remember you telling me when you took a bite, the meat was gray.
It was so gray, and I was like, "What the
Dude.
fuck is this?" But I'm not knocking their culture. I'm not used to that, and that might have just been in that only place. But every time, like even at the Arnold, I tried to order something, and I had to give it to one of my friends. I was like, "Bro, I cannot even eat this shit."
And
man."
they were eating it?
Yeah, because
You're kidding me.
First of all, I'm a picky eater.
Dude, you're a picky eater, but I've seen you put down some fucking food. Like,
I just couldn't do it, and so I was like, every night I was like, can't wait to go to the Hard Rock. Can't wait to go to the Hard Rock. I wake up, go to the Hard Rock.
right, so it became a regular pretty
Yeah,
much. Hard Rock, South Africa, they love you.
For sure, and over there is like, everyone treated me so good.
Well, didn't you tipped out one of the waitresses something like $20, was it?
Yeah, so the American dollar, right, stretches so far over there, right? And I'm paying a whole dinner for what I would pay for 2 Red Bulls a day.
You're kidding me.
So I'm like, this is crazy. So what I would normally pay for a meal is what I would tip the waitress, because it was so cheap.
Right.
And so they were so grateful for the big tip that I would give to them that I would come back every night, and that was that one waitress's section.
Right.
But they would bring their friend over, who was a waitress in the next section, and let them have me that day so that they could spread the wealth out.
Wow.
And you know what I mean? It was like you're tipping a waitress $36 on what really should be a $45, $50 meal, sometimes 60 or 70 depending on what I'm eating.
Yeah, because you're a monster.
And it's like, just the fact that the money stretches so far over there, and how many people you can actually impact while you're over there. Because in Johannesburg, yes, it's a rich city, but right on the outskirts, everyone's poor.
Yeah, well, my brother's in Central Africa right now, in the Republic of Central Africa, and he just said it's wild, dude.
Yeah,
it's wild.
It's wild, and but so awesome, and such a great experience, and like that's why I had to go back this year. The show's actually going to be bigger this year.
So you're returning in May?
Yeah.
Okay.
So And I just want to, even
That's
if it's
next month,
right? Even
Did
if
you
it,
started your sleep schedule?
right. Even
Shit,
if it's
man.
even if it's just this last time that I go over there, and then I start, going different places. I wanted to go over one more time because I have friends over there.
Right.
The show's really well run. Everyone's just so freaking nice and supportive. Like, I had a whole fan club section,
Oh, you're good,
and didn't know anyone.
Really?
But you know what I mean? And it was
Well, they wanted the quarter black guy.
half.
Oh, half?
Half.
I thought your mother was only.
No,
I thought she was half.
No, my mother's black.
Dude, kudos to your mother. I love that woman. Like when I did the fundraiser for your sister.
Yeah.
Your mother came up to me. It was like, "Oh my God, thank you."
Yeah.
Dude,
Super nice,
dude.
huh?
I love your. She'd watch my
She's
kid
something
anytime.
else. She's something else, man. She's something else. But yeah, dude.
Well, tell me about so South Africa, the event. I mean, we got the lead up, right? You were telling me there was a lift, and you were watching a specific guy, right? And you were telling me that's probably the motherfucker I got to beat. And I think it was like a car deadlift or something like that. He ended up tearing his hamstring. Was
Okay,
it?
so it wasn't like I was like, that's the guy I gotta beat, but I noticed that I got tore. This car deadlift was stupid heavy. It was stupid heavy. Like the winner got like 2 reps.
Okay, hold on, just real quick. Car deadlift.
So
like, come on, dude. Like,
in America,
my max ever is 600 fucking pounds. I'm 6'1.5", 240. I hit 600, and dude, that took my soul. So how much are we talking car deadlift wise?
It was so much that I couldn't even lift it, and this is why. So I went there and I'd never done a front handle car deadlift.
Okay, so usually they're side.
America, they're side handle.
Okay.
In most European countries and stuff, they're front handle.
Like a regular deadlift.
Yeah.
Almost.
And except the weight's behind you. So now now you have to learn how. And I never pulled like this.
Right.
So when I got up there, I immediately started mind fucking myself. Like, hey, you're not gonna be able to do this, do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tell myself, listen, I'm gonna watch everyone else that goes before me, and you're gonna be smart about this.
And I'm glad we're talking about this. Don't mean to cut you off, but like, this is what I'm talking about. People don't realize that there's an aspect to strongman competition that, like, you have to have a fucking strategy.
Yeah. There's definitely strategies. You don't go out. If you can win everything, awesome. Right. But you don't have to win everything to win a show.
Okay.
Fuck, you don't even have to win an event to win a show.
You can play second or third.
In each event, because
Right.
it goes by points.
Okay.
So when I see that, the one guy pulls 5 reps and one guy pulls 2 reps and everybody else is zeroing, I'm saying, listen, that motherfucker is hard, and I know it. If I only pull 1 rep, right?
Right.
What have I really accomplished? How much am I going up in the points?
What if you fucking
What
injure
if I
yourself?
get hurt? Because I am not used to this. I've never done this shit before.
So the winner of that car deadlift got 2 reps?
I believe he got 5 reps, but then
Jesus.
someone else got like 2 reps. After I saw the guy tear his hamstring on it, I'm like, well, that guy, I know he's fucking strong. So he tore his hamstring on it. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna pull it. If I feel anything that doesn't feel right, you're gonna go ahead and call it,
Right.
and then you're gonna make up your points on your other
Elsewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what I did.
And your overhead is fucking crazy.
It's getting better.
Yeah, dude, you set a fucking state record in North Carolina at 340. Come on.
But that was also 2 years ago.
Dude, most people can't deadlift 340. Natural human beings struggle with 315.
That 340 is like nothing compared to, the better guys in the thing. And I believe right now I haven't done a max deadlift. We're going to Africa to have a max deadlift. I believe I can hit more than 340 right now, but at the time 340 was where I was at.
Okay.
And I guess no one else has either challenged it or there hasn't been someone as strong come up, but it's definitely a beatable record. It's nothing to write home about. It's
Gotcha.
You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Yeah.
So I knew that, hey, I got a couple overhead events. My fucking farmers are pretty good.
So explain Farmer's Walk for people who don't know what we're talking
Basically, no straps, no nothing. You grab 2 farmers handles,
about. Dude,
loaded with
the
weight.
Farmer's Walk, like I might fuck with you. I might come over and train with you sometime, but I'm telling you right now, grip strength, people don't understand what fucking Farmer's Walk is really like. And for me, when I see that event, I'm like, dude, that's the motherfucking event.
We were hitting, I'll tell you, this is how good the guys at the Arnold were.
Okay.
We were hitting 6-second farmer runs with like 315, 320 pounds.
In each hand.
In each hand.
Jesus.
Just picking and sprinting. That goes to tell you either the weight was too light or the distance was too short.
Okay.
Because we were fucking
Or
running.
your fucking nuts are too big.
But there was a lot of us that were doing it. I think there was like 5 of us who hit 6 seconds. You know what I mean? That just goes to show, like, these are the best guys in the fucking world.
Right.
And when you're doing shit like that and you're running with the best guys in the world and you're hitting numbers like that, you're like, fuck yeah. And so I did a documentary last year. Guy followed me around for
Shout out to Casey Grant.
Yeah, he followed me around for 6 months, and he's putting everything together. And I believe in one of the interviews I said, I just want to be as strong as possible, and I don't care about winning the World's Strongest Man. If I happen to win the World's Strongest Man as I'm becoming the strongest person of the strongest me I can, then that's awesome.
Right.
But now I'm like, one day I'm going to win the World's Strongest Man.
Without a shadow of doubt, I believe it. Just because, like I said, you're like, at the beginning of the show, dude, you could have been anything. You could have been anything. You could have been a fucking carnival worker to a pro wrestler to a fucking actor. I eventually think you're gonna have your own fucking reality show one day. Like,
but who would watch it?
I fucking would.
That's what I
My
always
fucking
say.
Listeners would. My fucking producer over here would.
I always say that shit. I would write a book, but who would read it?
Dude. When I wanted this show, and I don't mean to get off topic because we're gonna come back to South Africa.
No,
I want to know
man.
about the car lift. But when the first person that came to mind for the show was you, and I say that just because, dude. When I talk about, okay, this show is amazing stories, life stories, and people. Dude, like, I've led such a weird fucking life. From the time I was 17, I started pro wrestling. You know, from pro wrestling, hey, dude, you might be good at cage fighting.
Yeah.
Went into cage fighting, got trained from Roland Sierra out here, Raging in the Cage, Arizona. You know, and then which was horse shit back then. You know what I'm saying? The guy's a fucking joke, but I didn't know no better.
Yeah.
You know. And then, you know, I went from that to the military. And then, you know, come out of the military, I got a fucking engineering degree. And then I decided I wanted to work with, like, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a weird... You're the only other person I know that has just hit so many different aspects of fucking life that it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, this motherfucker not only can compete with my weirdness, he probably surpasses
I
it.
always tell people I'm Gandalf. Because when I'm like 150
Have you
years
seen the
old.
movie? Have you seen the movie Big Fish?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
for people that don't know, Big Fish is a movie basically of where this guy tells multiple life stories, and his son thinks he's lying. But then when he dies, all
these
these weird
people come.
show up at the. That's you, motherfucker.
For sure.
That
And
is fucking
listen,
you.
That's 100% me
Yeah.
because I can tell a story. Okay, so the biggest thing about where I'm from is everyone is a storyteller.
And a dicker.
Yeah.
People don't know what dicker it is. It is the art of hustling.
Yeah.
Hustling. Okay.
So
Barter and trade.
yeah.
All right.
So when I get into a story,
Right.
I can pull it from
Dude,
being
vivid motherfucker. I'm in your stories like I'm there missing
Yes.
a fucking tooth in West Virginia.
and that's why I tell the stories the way I tell them.
Right,
Because
yeah.
I want people to envision themselves in the story, standing right beside me so that they can live that part of my life too
Yeah.
and say, holy shit, is this guy fucking for real?
Dude,
Because
super charismatic, bro.
for sure, man. And And that's what I like about my life is that there's so much
cheers, dude.
that
Cheers.
there's so much crazy shit. Mm-hmm. I want somebody to be like, no fucking way, dude, and I'll be like, yeah, because you know what?
Fucking way, motherfucker.
I'll
Yeah.
drag the fucking person out of the depths of hell that was with me
I'm telling you.
and say, hey, tell them about the time. Da da da. We went to the Arnold this year.
Right.
In
First
Columbus.
time in Columbus.
Yes.
Yes.
In Columbus.
Which I'm
And
jealous I didn't get an invite. Fuck you.
My wife met my friend
Uh-huh.
and his wife that we grew up with. We went to school together. We all went to school together.
Okay.
And we're at the dinner table and my fucking friend starts being like, dude, remember the time? So he tells all of this shit. And I'm just sitting there like, damn, I forgot about and I'm
dude.
like, and my wife is with no surprise on her face, like this.
It doesn't faze her.
It doesn't even
It
faze
doesn't
her. You know what I
fucking
mean?
faze her, yeah.
But that's the way that I live my life is just. And now I'm a little bit more reserved because I have kids, I have a career, I have shit that I want to accomplish. Not saying that I didn't.
I say fuck being reserved, dude. Fuck being reserved because guess what? Your legacy lives through your kids, unfortunately. That's what the world is today.
For sure.
Nobody's Achilles anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody's Genghis Khan anymore.
Yeah.
You might be actually, motherfucker, but I'm not. But, like, you know, I look at that and I say, hey, dude, like, fucking be open. Fuck being reserved, dude. Live life just open and broad.
The reason I say I'm a little bit more reserved now is because I used to take, when I was younger, I took wild risks.
But your son takes wild risks.
And that's okay, but I took wild risks to the point where after I tell a fucking story, I can look and be like, I can say,
Dude.
I can't believe I'm still alive.
Same here.
And when I say that with this blank look on my face, staring out into the fucking nothing.
Like Jesus, I'm still
Like
here.
and I never want my kid
Dude.
to have to say that same fucking
Dude,
thing.
fucking 16 years old. Just one of those dumb fucking kids, right? You know, and we decided, hey, we're going to go to these fucking apartment complexes that are being built, right? Steal a fucking washer out of these apartment complexes, drive down the 60 at 3 in the morning, kick the fucking thing out the back of my friend's truck at 90 miles an hour just to see what happens. Like, right? As I go to kick the fucking thing in the back of the truck, I slip. I fucking hit the tailgate, bounce up, my friend catches the back of me and pulls me in. Like, shit like that. Just because, dude, we're not men until we're fucking 32, 33 years old, dude. And that's the reality of
But
it.
also, we evolve and we think
Like, that's really the reality of it.
Because you're telling me that story, right? And you're like, damn, like I almost fucking died. And right now you're thinking I almost died. And when you did it, you're like, holy fuck, I almost died. And it made you stop and think before you do something stupid like that again.
But what did I do the next week? Something fucking stupid.
I'm sure you did something stupid. But,
Something fucking stupid. Dude, I'll tell you, men age like fine wine. We get better with age. We really do.
some men.
Some men, right? Fuck, but it's the truth. Like we're fucking retarded.
For sure, we do stupid shit.
Yeah. But all right, back to South Africa. So, dude hits the fucking deadlift, tears his hamstring. You say,
but he don't hit it. He just I'm pretty
he
sure
didn't even hit it?
I don't think so. And he tears his hamstring and I'll make a long story short. And this is not to cut the credit out of anybody that I competed against, but as an athlete, what happened was once all that happened and the scores came out and I see, hey, look, man, I'm only 2 points off of the fucking lead guy after one event because this shit was so hard nobody fucking did it.
Right.
I say, you know what? I'm coming back this next event. I blow the
What
next
was the event?
I believe it was log press.
oh, well,
I blow the event away
Right.
and I catch the crowd's attention because they're like the announcers hyping it up. I catch the crowd's attention because it's Max and I end up beating everybody.
what'd you hit?
I can't remember. It was
How the fuck do you not remember that moment?
Because
Like me as a person.
and this is why I don't remember that moment because
You won South Africa.
Well,
Arnold, South Africa.
the-
How do you not know what you hit?
the
That drives
weight
me nuts.
the weight was nothing. The weight was something I would practice with all the time.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, it was something. It was something like 320 or something like that. Just something I do all the time in training. Which I remember thinking, how did I win that with 320 pounds? You know what I mean?
Right.
So then something else. I think the next was like a fucking a Viking press or
What's a Viking press?
a Viking press is like a levered press.
Okay.
Where the weight is actually over top of the lever and you're pressing backwards on it.
Okay, okay.
So it's
I
a
know what
hinge.
it is, but just
So-
make sure our listeners know.
So, and I'd never done one before.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm fucking cranking them, the announcer says some shit like, look at this guy. Can you see this? Like, can you believe this guy's triceps? Like, look what this guy's doing. He fed my ego.
Dick got hard.
Boom, boom, boom. I start drilling them, right?
Right, yeah,
Won
yeah.
that event. I turn around and look. I see that I got these guys on the ropes. They're like, as I start pulling away, as any athlete does, as any competitive athlete, I start smelling blood. Right?
I like it.
These guys are not going to close the gap on me.
Right.
There's nothing that these guys are going to do. Next event, I believe was the next day. It was a farmer's walk. I know my grip is fucking strong.
Which
and guess
is
what?
fucking stupid because your hands are small.
Small. And I don't use my thumbs. I use a thumbless grip.
How the fuck?
So,
You don't even hook grip?
no, I do a thumbless grip.
Fuck,
So,
man.
it was like 50 feet down.
And you're missing part of your finger on your right hand.
right here. By the way, I dropped 405 pounds. That's another story. I dropped 405 pounds on
As
it.
a kid,
I was
right?
15 years old,
Yeah.
145 pounds, squatting 405 pounds. I tripped coming out of the rack, and I tried to pull up, compensate the weight. My hand came down, and the bar cut my fucking finger off.
Finger off. What did you do? Did you look at the finger?
I was in total shock. I'd probably hit my finger with a fucking
Let
hammer.
me give you a little bit more. A little bit more.
I'd probably hit my finger with a hammer, 100
Right.
times growing up because I
Right.
worked all the time. And that's what it felt like. I was like, oh shit, that hurt. Looked at my finger, it was fucking gone.
Right.
It's broken off, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, God damn it. So, yeah, missing half my hand. And
Jesus Christ.
so anyway, I farmer's run, boom.
Mm-hmm.
The guy feeds my ego again. Look at Marshall, he's gone. He's out of the gate. And by that time, I automatically know if this guy's saying that I'm gone, then the guy behind me is stuck in fucking neutral, and I am blowing these guys away. Down, drop it, back, drop
Okay.
it, down, drop it. Like this was a long ass run with
Right,
like 318
yeah.
pounds. KGs don't always come out to be fucking.
No, they don't. They
yeah.
don't. That's why like everyone talks about shit about fucking America. It's like go to fucking metric system. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
If all the world switched over to fucking pounds
Right.
and fucking miles per hour,
Yeah.
motherfucker. Yeah.
So once he did that, like I said, fed my ego.
Right.
I didn't do great in the yoke. I fucked my neck up doing something.
People don't understand how much overhead really fucks with your neck.
Yeah, well, here's
It
the,
really
here's the
fucking
thing.
does, dude.
Mobility is huge.
Dude, which
And
I
I
can't
have-
wash my back.
I don't have great mobility now, but it's better than it was last year. I couldn't do shit.
Why don't you try yoga?
I actually did Bikram one time.
Oh,
Hot yoga.
bitches farting that.
Someone was like, dude, if you do hot yoga, it'll be the best
Yeah,
workout
and
that
what
you
they
ever
don't
done.
tell you is bitches farting that.
But-
like the entire time they're just blowing fucking ass.
But
dude.
also what they don't tell you is that you're stuck in the fucking room.
Right.
And you can't leave. It's like hot boxing a car. If you're the fucking asshole who opens the door and lets all the fucking smoke out,
Right.
you know what I mean? So you can't do it no matter
Yeah.
what happens. So you're like,
there's you're
fucking dying
with
in
fart
there.
smell.
Well, no one fucking shit on me. But
Thank God, dude. I fucking did hot yoga one time, dude, and I swear this girl let loose next to me like it was nothing.
It's probably because it's not. They
No,
don't give a
but
shit.
then the girl beside her, and then the girl beside her, and the
Well,
next
they
thing I
were
know,
all
it's like,
holding it.
holy fucking cauliflower, Batman. You
They
know?
were
Like-
they were all holding it, just waiting for the one to fucking open up.
right,
and then-
yeah. So,
But no, like, so as an athlete, once you catch your rhythm,
right.
once you smell blood, so to speak, you kind of feel it and you know it, and there's nothing that can stop you.
So
And
what's the reverse side of that? Have you ever felt with those competitors?
fuck yeah, and I'll tell you
Oh,
why.
jeez.
I'll tell you why, and this is 100% my answer. Fuck yeah. This past year at Worlds,
Right.
2018,
So where was Worlds held, real quick?
It's in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
So there's a guy named Lynn.
It's so weird that Worlds is held.
Well, here's the thing. There's a guy named Lynn Morehouse, and he is a fantastic organizer.
And promoter?
Yes,
Okay.
fantastic at what he does. And the guy has the best shows that are fucking off the chain. They're fucking heavy. They make sense. They flow good. They're run right. There's no bullshit. There's no guesswork in it. You show up. You compete. You're treated right. It's fair.
His name is Lynn, right?
His name's Lynn Morehouse. He's actually
Lynn
a
Morehouse.
He's actually a sponsor of mine through Train
Shout out to
Strongman.
Lynn Morehouse.
And
Yeah, I like it.
he also does North Carolina Strongest Man, and
He competes?
he does compete. But right now, because they've asked him to do
Shows.
the official strongman has asked him to do this stuff. I believe he's probably taken a back seat to it and done more promoting than anything.
Right.
But so in preparation for Worlds, I didn't hurt my back training for Worlds. My back was hurt going into the prep. 3-month prep, my back is fucking killing me. And when I say killing me, I'm talking I can do
So I have an L4, L5. They're touching each
Yeah.
other. They're horrible. I got disc in my neck. I know back pain. So sciatic nerve, what was it?
it's everything is so tight. I call it my back straps. My fucking back straps are so tight
That's that West Virginia medical.
no matter what I do, I can't go to the chiropractor. I can't go to the deep
Masseuse,
tissue.
yeah.
Nothing is fucking working, and my back is screaming, and I can't pick up anything. The same time one of my dogs died. The dog was like 120 pounds, right?
What?
Dead weight, fucking full of fucking piss and shit, right?
No.
So my sister calls me and was like, "Hey, you gotta come. Can you come bury your dog?" And I just remember the dog was rigor mortis set in.
What dog was this?
This is my dog Zeus. He was
Zeus.
a
Okay,
South
yeah.
African Boerboel. He's fucking huge.
Well, which is mastiff.
right.
A lot of people don't know. I love those dogs.
Exactly. So he's stiff, and when I pick him up, my back immediately is just burning on fire. And we're in Arizona, and I still got to go dig a hole for this dog.
Not that I want to cut you off, but weird that you had a South African Mastiff.
Right.
And you won South Africa.
right.
Okay. So dog stiffed up.
So I'm carrying this dog, and my back hurts so bad. I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. So I go and dig this hole. Hurts. Bury the dog. Hurt. Like everything hurts, and every day it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So I'm like, fuck it, man. Like, I can't do shit. I cannot do anything. I can't lift anything. I can't care. Nothing that I'm doing is. So finally, I'm like, for 2 weeks, I just didn't do anything for 2 weeks, but stretch. I get in my pool because it's winter time, and I'm taking a cold bath, everything. And finally, it starts to loosen up. So as it starts to loosen up, boom, I'm back in business. I got a month left. Mind you, I haven't done any training because I cannot even grab. I grab one thing in my back. I can't even walk at this point. It's
Right.
hurting so bad.
Shout out to Chris Tapia.
So my back is just destroyed. I finally get it better, and I train. I'm training for about 2 weeks. Yep,
Yeah.
there he is.
Yeah.
I'm training for
Producer,
2
pull,
weeks.
look at this guy. You pull up the one where his dick's showing. Jesus. So the producer just pulled up a fucking South African border. And he pulls up the one with his dick showing. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a
So
better one.
and so my dog had parvo when he was younger, so he actually was undersized,
Oh, okay.
and he was still a big dog.
120 is fucking huge.
He was
yeah.
still a big dog.
So
So I finally get feeling better, and I'm 2 weeks into training.
Right.
Now I've only got a month left. 2 weeks into training, I've only got 2 weeks left. Right? I get sick as a dog, like super sick. I don't know what happened to me, but I'm like flu, cold chills, throwing up, everything. It took me 6 months.
you drank the water in Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
It took
Fuck.
me 6 months to gain 15 pounds. Where I've lean muscle.
Mm.
I lost 8 of it in 5 days.
Jesus.
I am totally done. I have 1 week left. I train as hard as I can, but I'm getting over being sick. I have literally no strength, no nothing. I haven't even touched the implements that I'm supposed to touch.
People
because
don't realize when you're sick, you're like, and you gotta lift. Your dick is in the dirt.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
Like you're super fucked because you're only going to make it worse.
Right.
And here's the biggest thing: your immune system is down,
Right.
and that big workouts. Well, if you don't take care of yourself and knock your immune system in the dirt,
Right.
and you can catch anything in the air, and you can't recover from that shit. So I'm fucked up. I don't know what it is. I'm super sick. Finally, I start feeling better, but it's time for me to leave for Worlds.
Right.
I leave for Worlds, and at this point, my mind is so far gone because, I have literally not done fucking shit to prepare for Worlds. A lot of people say, well, why would you go? If you qualified and got invited to World's Strongest Man,
I'm going.
the biggest stage,
Dude, I don't even fucking lift, and I know I'm
right?
going.
You're fucking going.
Yeah.
So I get there.
Are you not going to compete in American Idol?
Right, right. So I get there, and one of my friends is backstage, and she's not competing. Her and her husband are backstage, and she's asking me how I feel. And then for the first time, the panic button is on. I've never gone to a show. I've been nervous before, but the panic button is on because I have not prepared for this show. And I have not prepared because I was hurt, and then I was sick. And that's how I was feeling so terrible. And I actually did the worst that I've ever done in a big show like that.
And you still won?
No.
Oh.
No. This is World's Strongest Man.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sitting back like 20th and
Jesus
further.
Christ.
And the year before I got 11th. So my goal this year is top 10.
Right.
But I can't do top 10 because I'm not prepared. And it's not, part of me failing was because my mind wasn't prepared.
Jesus.
And my body wasn't prepared. And I know that I'm strong and I know what I'm capable of. But when my body is not used to touching weight that I have to you know what I mean?
No, dude, trust me.
Like a lot of people get programmed out and they start deloading like a week before or 2 weeks before.
Right.
I do what's called backwards planning. And I start with the day of the show. And I prepare myself backwards for how I would on this day. So this day is when I start, and I'm training all the way up like I am still practicing when I hit the day of the show.
Yeah.
So this day is when I'm peaking out on the day of the show. I'm not resting. I'm not, you know what I mean? This is how I perform every week. So this is what I'm going to do. So normally my deload or my rest period is about 3 weeks before the show. Because that's when my training starts getting so heavy that I start getting burnt out on it. Hurting like a motherfucker. And then I say, I got to take a break. So I take a small break, and then I jump right back into it for the next 2.5 weeks. And on that third week, boom, I hit that show like I was training still.
Jesus. Dude, I love it.
It might be wrong, but it works for me.
Hey,
it might be right.
And nobody has a fucking blueprint.
Right.
Nobody. Like, really. Like I don't even think, like, and I'm just speak on the behalf of bodybuilding because I know a lot of it. Like, I don't even think people have a blueprint for bodybuilding. Like, every fucking bodybuilder comes on stage looking different each year to me.
It's different. And when I was a bodybuilder, I never prepared a routine. I always what's called freestyling a routine.
Yeah.
And I have more best posing trophies than you did
wins,
right? Than
Yeah.
I do wins, and it's because I go out there and I just flow it together. What makes sense to me, right? And I feel like it's nerve wracking if I'm trying to do a routine, if I'm trying to remember what you know what I mean. It's muscle memory though.
Yeah.
How I practice is going to be how I perform.
So what are your goals for 2019, 2020? Like, I mean, you said you went into this with, your wife signing you up to strongman. Yeah. You weren't really sure that you could, then you placed third. So what are the goals for 2019, 2020? I know you're going back to South Africa in May. Do you have a goal set up for, say, maybe Brazil? Arnold, Brazil.
Yeah.
Do you have a goal set up for 2020? Like, what's the fucking end game for Marshall Zinn? You're 35 now.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you foresee in the next 2 to 3 years for you to find that fucking niche you're looking for? What is it?
So the documentary that is being done about me is called we think we're going to call it The Making of a Pro. Okay. And basically when I first started this thing,
time out before you go further.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but do you have your pro card now?
No.
But this is fucking bullshit based on the fact that you won a major fucking event. And we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to it. I just want to know the politics behind it. So go ahead and tell the rest of what you were saying. What are your goals? And then we're going to get to the politics behind it. And then we'll go ahead. I don't want to.
So the whole object behind this dude following me was like, we're going to get our pro card.
Okay.
I'm going to get my pro card.
Right.
I'm chasing this dream, right? The reason why I'm chasing the dream is because I want to show at the end of my legacy that I've put in all this work for something.
That's the goal.
That was the original goal. As I get more involved in the sport, as I learn more, as I do more, I say to myself, bro, you don't have to have your pro card because you get to do whatever the fuck you want to do, right?
Right.
I've been the world's strongest man twice without my pro card.
At 105 kg.
At 105 kg twice without my pro card.
Which is bullshit.
Well, I've qualified because CrossFit...
You've been the world's strongest man at 105 kg twice and you don't have your... How is that not fucking just like punch you in your fucking heart, dude?
Because I don't deserve it yet.
Really? You really feel that way?
100% I feel that way. And when you're in the sport and you see how much you sacrifice, right?
Right.
But then, so the dude who placed fourth at the Arnold Columbus this year,
right?
He got his pro card. It was passed down to him because in other countries you don't need your pro card.
Fuck, dude.
It's only in America.
In America.
So. Or with this organization that everybody's trying to get through.
And I'm not trying to put you out there to name names. I don't want you to think that. Because I know there is a political aspect to this.
For sure.
Okay. So, but like, fuck, dude, it eats at me and I'm not you. Does that make sense? Like, it's like, dude, you won such a major event in South Africa that it's like, somebody needs to just fucking recognize you. You won North Carolina.
Well, those are all like local state shows that know what I mean. Big promoter, yes. But winning in Arnold,
right,
was just enough for me. Like,
fuck, dude, beyond proud of you as a person.
I appreciate it. Winning in Arnold and it's not like it's an ego boost or anything like that. That is an experience that I will take with me for the rest of my life.
Right.
And winning an Arnold was top shit for me. Like, it was like, that's what put me on to be like, dude, you can do whatever the fuck you want in this sport.
And when you told me you won Arnold South Africa, that's the same way I felt.
Right?
I felt the same fucking way. I'm like, dude, the sky's the limit.
So right now, what they did is they opened it up as a pro AM, so a pro amateur show.
Right.
And this is the first one. So I can do so much. When you're a pro, you're limited. Dude, the Arnold is a fucking experience.
Dude.
Like, it is a crazy experience. There's 22,000 athletes, right?
They don't understand that from jiu-jitsu to CrossFit to bodybuilding.
Everything,
To fucking,
right?
Yeah.
You turn pro, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 105, you're no longer at the Arnold. All the pro 105 guys who wanted to compete at the Arnold, they qualified as a heavyweight so they can go back.
Blessing in disguise, it sounds
Right?
like.
So I say right now, bro, it's not about getting to the end. It's about the journey that it's going to take you to get to the end. What if you never accomplish that goal? Do you still cut yourself short and basically screw your own name because you didn't do it?
Right.
Absolutely not. Look at all of the stuff I was able to accomplish while headed to this goal that I may never reach. Right? And that's what it's about for me, is not the end game, but the game that it is being played right now. So when the end comes, I can look back and say, you know what, man? What's next for me? I had a great run.
Dude.
I'm
So, goals, becoming a pro.
Is it a goal for me anymore? I don't know. Like, awesome. So basically, the dude's name is Luke Meredith, and he was awesome.
Look, man, you're a fucking great ambassador for the sport, in all reality. And I know people on personal levels, just outside of, like Danielle Yox, for instance.
Yeah.
She's
a great athlete.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
My wife went to high school with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people would not expect what she does.
Yeah, for sure. She's a dainty little thing, but
you know
she's
what I'm
super.
saying? But when you're
super
around,
good.
she has mentioned, like, you're the reason why she's excited. You're such a fucking great ambassador for the sport. Like, maybe the goal for you, Zen, is be a fucking promoter. Maybe that's the life goal that you need.
At first I thought, like, hey man,
Dude,
like,
you're such a charismatic motherfucker. Why not?
Well, I don't know where the road's going to take me. I don't know.
Back to the hollers in
Right.
West Virginia.
It'll never take me back there. I can promise you that. I don't know where I'm actually going to go, but I know that the journey that I'm on right now is something that I'm going to cherish. I'm going to continue to roll with as long as I can. And I've always said it. God blessed me with a specific talent, a specific gift. My whole life, I've been defined by one thing, and that is how fucking strong I am. Literally, my whole fucking life, from the time I was my youngest son.
You say that, but I look at you and I define you by your character. And dude, you have an outstanding character.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I really do, and I don't want the strength to just define me, because at some point
that's
it'll
what I'm saying.
fade.
For me, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to play on.
But when you talk about me, right? The first thing that comes to mind.
You're right.
Is
You're fucking right.
That motherfucker is strong as shit. You know what I mean?
You're fucking right, 100%. Because I tell everybody that at the gym, dude, when they see me fucking, rep out 545 on deads.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're fucking strong. No, I'm not, dude. You should see my fucking buddy. He's the same weight I am, and he's fucking 5'3", and the motherfucker will pull 900 pounds.
And I think that's what a genuine person will do, because I say the same thing. Like, people are like, "Damn, dude, you're so strong," and I'm like, "But you don't really understand." Like, bro, if you would be in the same room with me,
you don't give yourself enough credit.
Well,
you do and you don't.
I think that it's important that you don't give yourself too much credit.
There you go.
I really
You're
do.
a very humble man as well. I agree.
At some point, there's always going to be somebody that's better than you.
Fuck.
Bigger,
Unless
faster,
you're Bruce
stronger,
Lee.
right? Then you're going to die a legend.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just the way the world works, man. Like, with these guys that are in the NFL and everything coming around, like, they'll all tell you it's easier to get in the league than it is to stay in the league, because every year somebody's bigger, faster, stronger. And always coming in to take your spot.
Dude, they just had a lineman in the NFL Combine. I think ran a fucking like 4.45 or something.
Did you see the guy whose dick fell out?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. But yes, thanks for fucking reminding me.
No problem, man.
That's good, man.
Oh,
I fucking
man.
love it. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. You got any fucking promo sponsors?
Look, before you go, I got you a housewarming gift right here.
Okay.
And this is something that.
So where did this come from?
Well, I mean, it was Halloween. And I went to and I'm like, what would I do? What would suit me? So I didn't even really wear a costume. I just walked around with that thing. So
you didn't wear a costume. You just walked around.
I just walked around with
I
that
like
thing.
it.
Sometimes I just take my shirt off and walk around the house with that.
Get the fuck out.
Make myself feel better. So you can put that
for nobody that's gonna watch the YouTube, it is a stick on a skull on a stick with spikes coming out of it everywhere. I love it. All right, I love it.
And then I bought you some Play Again Now. This is one of my sponsors right here.
Yeah, so
this is
let's hit all your sponsors, but Play It Again. What?
Play Again Now Recovery. This is super, super great.
Dude, I see your son drinking this all the time.
Yeah, my kid drinks it. It just helps your joints. It helps your ligaments. It actually helps with hangover.
Make sure you get that on the camera right there. So
right here. This is the shit. You just put it in the refrigerator. You shake it up every morning. Tablespoon in your mouth. You can drink as much you want, as little as you want. And this, when I tore my tricep, I would have had a complete tricep tear if I was not doing this. But because I was doing this, it was a tear in the muscle belly, and I was able to recover a lot faster.
You honestly believe that?
I 100% believe it.
I
swear by this company. And the one thing about products, sponsors, is people will just grab fucking sponsors to say that they have a fucking sponsor.
Right.
If you do not believe in something, do not fucking back it, because that shit will fuck. If you're promoting a product and you don't believe in it, shame on you. Fuck you.
Say it again. Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
So we got Play Again Now.
Right.
We got Freak.
Yeah.
Freakware.
Which I'm kind of mad you didn't bring me a shirt.
You know what? I get you, man. I get you.
I appreciate it.
Freakware has been, Mike over at Freakware has been super awesome for me and to me. Hooking me up with clothes before I leave for events and everything. They're all, Rockwell.
Yeah.
Rockwell watches.
Watches.
They are sick, man. Like,
yeah, I'm kind of mad you didn't bring me a watch too, right? No.
Rockwell is like, it's just a sick company. Like, they do everything from fucking motocross to fucking snowboarding. Like, these guys are super legit, man.
Hit that for all three, or two cameras.
Hey,
so they can see.
This is the 50. This is the black on black. I call this the Phantom of the Opera.
That bitch is bad. I don't wear watches.
This is a big face right here.
Yeah.
Tough Love rings right here. I'm one of their ambassadors.
I bought a few from you. I'm wearing one right now.
And these are super awesome, man. If you work outside, if you work construction, if you're hanging out in the gym, anything, it's just so you don't tear your real ring up, and so that you can sport your ring. There's different, obviously there's different colors, things like that. I'm also right now talking with a company called Pro Snacks.
Pro Snacks?
And I don't know if you've seen them on my Instagram, but these guys wrap chocolate covered pretzels, and they're protein pretzels.
Hold on, I have seen this on your Instagram.
And I was actually going to bring you some.
Now
But
I'm mad.
But my
Let me fucking tell you something real quick before you go further. Dude, you have set the bar. You've set the bar. You've brought me a drink. You've brought me a fucking gimmick to hang on the wall. Like, dude, people better come correct when they come on my fucking
for
podcast.
sure, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fuck yeah.
My wife and kids love the pretzels, man.
Yeah, dude, I
And-
see your son drinking this shit all the time and eating the pretzels.
And eating the pretzels, so we have a little snack at nighttime before we
Right.
brush our teeth and go to bed. The protein pretzels. And then working with Buff Bodies. Buff Bodies is basically a buffer for your body. It busts your muscles out.
Oh.
So I'm an ambassador
need
for
that
them.
shit.
They're super awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Everything's super good. So let's see. 1, 2, 3.
He's counting his fucking sponsors, this guy.
Like I said, Lynn Morehouse, a trained strongman.
Right.
Like I said, the sponsors that you, if you're an athlete, the sponsors that you want to be a part of, you don't need to ask them, what can you do for me? You need to ask them, what can I do for you?
100%.
And that's the biggest thing, is because you're promoting their brand. You're promoting their product, and you need to be able to do something for them. It's not a take relationship. It's a give and take relationship. Like, these guys send me a product every month.
These guys being?
Play Again Now.
There you
Recovery.
go. Not everyone's watching YouTube. So.
Right, okay. They send me a product every month.
Right.
And for that, I'm super grateful, and I give back to everybody. I'll let people have this.
Right.
I'll let people try this. I'll tell people about it. I'll put it on my Instagram because I live by it. If it's something that I put into my everyday life, then it is something that I really appreciate and that I really use. And that's everything. I wear a ring, a Tough Love ring every day. I wear a Rockwell watch every day. I wear a Freak shirt every day that I'm not at work.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I love it, dude. I fucking love it.
So
you're just a genuine dude, and to be honest, dude, I couldn't be fucking more proud to have you as our first guest on Whiskey Tango Talks.
And you know what, man? I really appreciate it. Like, I was trying to make these videos on my way over here. Like, and the biggest thing is, like, man, to be asked to be on someone's show, whether it's the first guest or not,
dude.
like I said, I don't know how people would perceive my life. Like, I don't know how interesting of a person that I am.
Motherfucker, you know how interesting you are. Come on, dude. Come on.
But I'd like to think that if someone asked me about it, I want to be able to promote myself well, promote my sport well, and promote the fact that, you know, if anybody out there needs any advice, if anybody out there needs any support in any form, I'm not giving you no financial support, but if people need support in their everyday life, I think that's what we're here to give them. If you have the capability and the knowledge, then I think that you have the obligation.
Hey, we're gonna hit on this real quick before we go. Foster parent.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
I was two. Or 2 kids. Yeah.
Okay, look, dude, like, you're just you're an angel amongst us. All right?
I appreciate
dude,
it.
like, seriously, because that's doing more than I would do. I'll tell you that right now.
I always said that, but when you see someone in need and you know that you can help someone out, the least you can do is give them a chance.
Dude.
Right?
For real.
And it's not about finances or anything like that. It's if you see someone struggling and you know that you could create or develop a better life for that individual, and you don't at least try, then I believe that you're not doing your due diligence.
As a human.
As a human being.
As a fucking
right?
person.
And
yeah.
it's for some people and it's not for other people.
Right.
But if you think that it's for you,
right.
and it's something that you can say, hey, you know what? If it doesn't work,
I can afford
I gave
this.
you a shot.
I can afford this.
Right?
Let's do it, right?
So.
Well, fucking Marshall, dude, I appreciate everything.
For sure, man.
Dude, hey,
for sure.
Look, man, if you fucking win South Africa in May, take second, whatever it may be, you get fucking invited to Brazil. I'd love to have you back on to find out later in life kind of what you're doing.
For sure, man.
Dude, we fucking love you. I'm sure the fucking fans enjoyed this. But let me tell you, dude, like, seriously, I appreciate you as a person and as a guest.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you guys thinking about me to come on here first. Let me tell a couple things. Thank you, man. Appreciate the drink.
Hey, cheers one last time.
Awesome, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You want to wrap it up, Rob? Thank you, bud. Dude. Well, that does it for Whiskey Tango Talks. I'm your host, Derek Pizzatoro. I appreciate you joining us. Tune in next time for amazing life stories and adventures. Y'all have a good night. Hey, y'all. I'd like to thank Mr. Marshall Zinn once again for coming on and absolutely killing today's podcast. You can follow him at Boss Hog on Instagram. And I'd like to thank all you for tuning in and listening. Go ahead and get your peepers ready for the YouTube channel at Whiskey Tango Talks. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you can. And you can hear us on all podcast apps that are available, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, podcast app, you name it. Anchor possibly? I don't know. Whatever you have downloaded for podcasts, please search us up. If you don't find us, get a fucking different podcast app and listen, please. We love you. Stay tuned, y'all. Good night.